Welcome to Behind the Case podcast, a podcast that focuses on navigating the challenges our clients face with divorce and family law in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. Behind the Case is brought to you by the Turner-Monahan legal team. With over 70 years of collective experience in divorce and family law. Together, Tyler Monahan, Keaton Monahan, Tina Campbell, and the Turner-Monahan team will discuss real-life cases, answer questions, and explore family law areas from divorce to child custody. Our goal is to clarify scenarios and demystify legal jargon, making the process less daunting and reminding you that you're not alone. So sit back and let's discuss what happens behind the case.
How accurate are courtroom scenes in popular divorce movies?
I think that there are some parts of movies that are accurate, that portray what attorneys do on a daily basis and what it's like being in the courtroom. But then again, a lot of times you hear the attorneys talk and they go, and this and this and this and this happened and this and this and this happened, which you really can't get that in. And I think a lot of times to correlate that to how our clients feel is our clients don't understand that there are a lot of things that we can't get in that we might know or that we might think we know, but we can't get it in because we can't prove it. So you can't have somebody who said something at some party 6 weeks ago that you want to use if they're not there to testify, or if you've got this document that they know that something occurred, but you can't get it in. I mean, that's what I've seen in movies that I think they get everything in and they solve the entire case in about 6 hours. And that just unfortunately doesn't happen.
Absolutely. I have a really hard time watching court scenes and trials on TV and that kind of a thing. I will often interject, objection, and that's not how that goes. And that's not what that's supposed to be. I guess it's probably no different than a doctor watching some sort of medical show. They're never exactly correct based on what's going on. But I do think sometimes our clients feel like it should run like you see on Law and Order. And that's one of the first things I tell my clients. This is not like what you see on Law and Order. I mean, there is a courtroom, you will take the witness stand, that kind of a thing, but it doesn't run the same way. It's not.
It is like Suits, though, where they're burning the candle at both ends, where you get here at 6 a.m. and you leave at midnight. But, we are kind of robots and don't have other lives. So that's kind of what we're supposed to do.
Thinking of court, mediation in court. Especially we go to the Santa Claus movie, they're literally sitting at a table together, one spouse, the other spouse. What's your reactions to those and reality of it?
Yeah, in family law, we very much try to keep people apart, because when you have people in the same room looking at each other, it is like it always is on TV. They get antagonistic, they get unreasonable, they get, mad at each other back and forth. And so you don't really make any progress. And so it's not effective. So for family law mediation, we always keep people in separate rooms so that there can be some free negotiation and we don't have quite so many emotions to deal with.
I agree. And she knows because she does mediations almost every week, because at Turner-Monahan now we do a lot of mediations and Tina does a great job. Heather does mediations as well. So they're both certified to be able to do that stuff. So it is true, though, there are a lot of people who are getting divorced because they can't get along. And so you don't put them in the same room. But I think that goes for a lot of mediations now. I think people are just a little more emotional, illogical, and irrational. And so when you get in a room, tensions can get hyped up and things don't go as well. But I think that if both parties have good attorneys who think about trying to get a case settled and finalized rather than just try to perpetuate something, I think for the most part mediations work and they're good, but not when people are in the same room.
Agreed.
Thinking of they're angry couples, when somebody comes to you and goes, I want a divorce in under 30 days, what do you say?
I get that all the time. Yeah. They want it quick.
Now.
They want it now. First off, it's, per statute, it's 60 days unless there's some sort of crazy family violence where you just have to try to get out in 30, which really I've never seen occur before. But you asked, what do we say? And I'd say, well, how long have you been married? Oh, I've been married 8 years or 10 years or 12 years. So you've acquired your entire life, adult life with this person for 8, 10, 12, 15, 20 years. You have children, you have assets, cars, houses, boats, trucks, whatever else it might be. And you want to get it over in 60 days. I mean, just think about that. If it's 10 years That's 3,650 days, and they want to get it over in 60. It doesn't make any sense, does it? And this is the most important document you'll sign. And once people hear that and they think about it from that perspective, things normally change when they say they want to get it over in 60 days. We understand that you want it done, but it's also our job to make sure we see the forest before the trees so people don't get into a bad situation or make a bad situation worse.
And I mean, if it's one of those rare cases where over the course of their marriage, they haven't really acquired a great deal, they haven't, contributed to things, and it really is relatively simple, we can do it in 60, 61 days, but it can't be any faster than 60 days because we want to make sure that we do have the proper documentation. Of course, we have to follow the statutory guidelines and all of that as well. But it's a rare case when people come in and say they've got an agreement, we can, do it without it being contested. It's rare that truly ends up being the end.
And it's unfortunate because there are a lot of things outside of our control. Like we can't control what the other side does. We can't control what the other attorney does if there's one. We can't control when the court says, yes, you can come up and do this, and we can't control what the statute says. So we have to make sure we follow all those things. It's very procedural, black and white. And then there's so much gray and subjectiveness when you're talking about dividing up assets and children and stuff.
All right, what do you do when your clients are going online for divorce advice?
Let's take a quick pause here. If you or someone you know is navigating divorce or family law matters in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, reach out to Turner-Monahan for a free legal consultation. Call us at 817-332-4477 or visit us at tumolaw.com. That's TUMOLAW.com for a free legal consultation. Now, let's get back to Behind the Case.
I just had that just the other day. I have somebody who does a lot of AI Googling, I guess, and searching, and they get a lot of answers, and they have become very skilled and knowledgeable in those answers. But that's more of like a test tube, kind of test tube baby, inside a lab type scenario. So a lot of times when people do that, it's great for them to at least see. And then I'm able to say, hey, look, I understand when you put that in, that's what it says. But let me tell you kind of how it actually goes in the real world, because that's what AI is telling you. And while they're giving you the laws or they're kind of telling you a roundabout way, this is actually how it is. So I actually don't mind. A lot of people use AI. It used to be, hey, I'm going to do Google. Now they love AI. So they do that. And it's really not, to me, from what I've seen, it's not a horrible thing. It actually gives us some talking points, but you can't believe what AI is saying. So it's good to get that information, but then ask your attorney, hey, I put this in, but then what about this? And hopefully they can explain it to you. I know here at Turner-Monahan, we try to do the best job we can to explain it to people. But
yeah, I think things like ChatGPT give a good kind of surface knowledge. It does kind of open the door to different things to talk about and questions to ask, but it is by far not the end-all be-all with information in regards to it. And a lot of times you're not going to get jurisdictionally specific information for Texas, for Tarrant County, for our particular judges, what they do, what the experiences are. And that you're going to get by speaking to one of the attorneys here so that we can use our experience to kind of explain what the reality is here based on your specific facts, what court you're in, what judge you're before, and what you can expect.
Talk about some celebrity divorces, especially ones that sell super quickly. So a popular one right now in media is definitely Katy Perry, Orlando Bloom. They're getting divorced, and Katy Perry's already been seen with Justin Trudeau, the old Prime Minister of Canada. What are your reactions to divorces in celebrities that happen so quickly, especially something like that where she's already out with another celebrity?
I don't think it's much different than what occurs with our clients in divorces. It's just that they're not followed by the paparazzi, and they don't have people looking at their every single move. Now, inside of everybody's own world, right? Because that's all that matters, right? Is your world. Nobody else's world matters at the time. And I get that because I tell people all the time, you don't know until it affects you, right? That's the deal. No one cares until it affects them. And so those things are going to happen. It's inevitable. It's just thank God that you're not followed by the paparazzi and your life isn't all over news and stuff. Now, it's probably going to be all over your spouse's phone, or it's going to be all over your spouse's friend's phone, or it's going to be all over the PI investigator, if you're doing those things. But luckily for our clients that we don't have a lot of movie stars that live here in Fort Worth. So I know a lot of people think they are, but they're not. But most people here are not on the level of being followed by the paparazzi. So.
Yeah, and you got to also keep in mind that you may see something publicized about a divorce and then it's finalized in 15 days or 10 days or whatever it is. That doesn't tell you all the things that happened in the background, all the stuff that wasn't popularized, that wasn't put in the press and the media, because that stuff's not interesting.
And nothing's finished in 15 days.
No, nothing ever is finished in 15 days.
And these people are splitting up tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars. Trust me.
It's going to take a minute.
The experts and the attorneys are figuring out how to make that happen. Because one of the things is, to go back what we were talking about, wanting it done within 60 days, people can probably relate to this, is like at their job, would they go and say, hey, look, if the boss came to you and said, I want this done no matter what, I don't want you doing any regulations, I don't want you getting a permit, I want you to slam this thing home and be done. Well, if you're somebody who's qualified to do something, it could come back on you. You could lose your job. We're the same way. We have to look at it from a liability perspective. So not only are we protecting ourselves, but really we're trying to protect our clients too, in the same sense. But we can't, at our firm, we won't do anything that's like anywhere close to that line. Like, we do everything above board and make sure it's done right. Otherwise, we're not going to do it, period. That's just the way that we operate here.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Behind the Case. If this episode offered insight or helped clarify some aspect of divorce and family law, we encourage you to subscribe and share it with others who might benefit. For those in the DFW area that are in need of a legal consultation, you can reach us at tumolaw.com. That's TUMOLAW.com, or 817-332-4477 to schedule a free legal consultation. Remember, the journey through legal matters can be complex, but you don't have to navigate it alone. Until our next discussion, take care. Please note that the information provided in this podcast is for educational purposes only and is not intended as legal advice. Listening to this podcast or contacting our team does not constitute an attorney-client relationship. For advice on your specific situation, please consult with a licensed attorney in your area.